Why do you say that the FDA is partially responsible for this current epidemic?
Well, yes, what happened is the Food and Drug Administration, after they had reviewed the Framingham study that was done in the mid-60s, and the Framingham study showed that fats were associated with coronary artery disease. So in an effort to eliminate coronary artery disease, the Food and Drug Administration decided to make its own food pyramid, and that is to tell people how much carbohydrate, how much protein, and how much fat they should have. And what they did is advised 60 to 80% carbohydrates, 20% protein, and 10% fats. Now, instead of going to the NIH and asking what carbohydrates they should be taking, what they did is that they went to the USDA, the food manufacturers, and the food manufacturers, they said, we know what to do. And what they did was they substituted refined carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates such as pastas, cereals, sugars in candy bars, potato chips, on and on and on. And in fact, many of the baby boomers were brought up on 60 to 80% refined carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates, now we know, are like poison to our system. Why? Think about back at the caveman. When he came out of the cave, he went out and did he go to a bush and eat pastries or refined white bread? No. What he ate were vegetables, berries, protein, fat. Today, the refined carbohydrates that are seen in breads and potatoes are, in fact, almost a poison for our system because the body overreacts to them by secreting insulin. It causes insulin to peak. When insulin peaks, what it does is that it also peaks in the brain. In the brain, there's an enzyme called insulin-deleting enzyme, which either deletes insulin or amyloid, the toxic substance that we had talked about in the first chapter, that causes Alzheimer's disease. So every time we eat a carbohydrate first, it's very much like smoking a cigarette. Just as a cigarette leaves tar on the lung and then causes lung cancer or lung disease, when we eat a carbohydrate first, it causes insulin peaking, which leaves a stain of amyloid on the brain and Alzheimer's disease, essentially. I believe it's very responsible for the marked increase I had mentioned. Alzheimer's increased 5 to 10-fold since 1954.